Alright, what is going on, everybody? What is up? What is up? DSP here live on the stream. Welcome, everyone. Today is Friday, May 10th, 2019. How's everybody doing today? Welcome to the first of 7 straight days of streaming. 7 days. I will be here back to back to back to back doing double stream days for all of you. So for those of you who love my stuff and you're excited for some good streaming fun, welcome. It begins right now. It should be pretty good. Okay? Now, today also is a pretty momentous day. Alright? Pretty special day. And you may be wondering why. Well, I'm going to tell you right now. Some stuff has happened in the last 24 hours that's been pretty exciting. Pretty interesting, actually. Something that's probably going to positively affect my content moving forward. I'm very excited about it. So let's talk, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, the news of the day is that I, Phil Burnell, have installed the air conditioner in my office, so it's nice and cool now, finally, after a whole week of sweating my balls off here because it's been very hot in Washington State where I live. I finally got the air conditioner installed. It's feeling nice and cool. Everything's, gone down by about 15 degrees, I would say, in the office. The other day it was probably about 90 degrees. I was sitting here sweating to death, and it was like sitting in a hot box. But instead, now it's nice and cool. In fact, it's 75 degrees right now. So there you go. There you go, everybody. That is the deal. I'm very, moving forward, as it gets warmer, I'll be using this air conditioner. Now, I apologize. You can probably hear it on the mic right now. And, it's going to be an ambient noise that's going to be going on and off in the background. Usually when I'm talking on the mic like this during a dead time, like a pre-stream, you can hear it. But in reality, if I'm playing a game, you can't hear it that much. It ends up blending kind of into the background of the atmospheric noise. So it's not that big of a deal. All right. All right, guys. So obviously, in reality, that's not what we're talking about. And obviously, that's the truth of the matter is, the stuff that's been going on in the last 24 hours is not fun. It's not exciting. It's, and it shouldn't be. Human drama never should be fun and exciting. And quite frankly, typically, I usually will remove myself from any kind of human drama regarding other streamers and content creators. However, I think we need to, at least today on pre-stream, briefly address what's been going on with content creators in the last year, I'd say, where a lot of people who everyone thought were wholesome, were, upstanding citizens, as you say, upstanding people, and who had giant fan bases are now being kind of revealed to have some pretty nasty, malicious, underhanded stuff going on behind the scenes, and they're being exposed for it. And, as someone who has been around the internet for 11 years doing content creation, and someone who's done it for a living since 2011, and basically for the last 7 years has been the butt of pretty much the running internet joke meme as the worst content creator and a guy who's a joke, and, it's fun to make fun of Phil, har har har, and sadly, someone who has been very negatively affected by it. For me, at least, to see all this stuff happen the way it's been unfolding, in the last year, I'd say, is kind of just mind-boggling, jaw-dropping, and quite frankly, ironic. All right, but you know what? Before we even get to that, for those of you who are regular viewers, or maybe if you're a newer viewer who's just swinging by just to check out one of my streams, before you move on to other stuff, because I know a lot of people today may just be checking out a stream or two of mine because of the drama that's been going on the internet and me voicing it on Twitter and getting over 10,000 likes on a tweet within a short period of time. What I want to do is go through my streaming schedule for this week, so all of you know exactly what to expect this coming week. All right, so there's no confusions about what's happening coming up. Many games I'll be playing this coming week, including new games, which is great. I'll be continuing on older playthroughs. I'll be doing chill streams on late night. That'll be more relaxed, not serious, kind of ongoing narrative playthroughs. So a lot of good stuff coming up this week that I definitely want to, go ahead and tell you what's coming up. So here we go. Today, Friday, double streaming day. I'm back from break. 7 straight days I'll be putting out content for all of you. This first gameplay stream is the continuation of Days Gone. This game, FYI, has picked up big time. The first 10 hours of Days Gone were incredibly boring. repetitive, grindy, not very interesting. The last 10 hours of Days Gone, which would be the second 10 hours, have been incredible. Like, seriously, the freaking story's been great. It's picked up huge. I've enjoyed it tremendously. And my major criticism of the game is actually, I just wish the first 10 hours were good, because so many people probably will have played this game for the first 10 hours and quit and said it stinks, when in reality it actually is good, but they saved the good stuff for hour 11 and onwards. So I'm actually very happy for those who kind of convinced me to play the game and to keep sticking with it to get to the good parts. I'm really enjoying it, and today we're getting into the meat of a whole new story segment where the main character, Deacon, has left all of his friends and everyone behind and is now off on a unique journey to try to find out if his wife is still alive. So pretty interesting, and that's going to be at least 4 gameplay hours on this early stream. Later on tonight, I'll be doing a second stream around 6:45 p.m. Pacific time. That's going to be Life is Strange 2 Episode 3. Now, to be fair, when I do these kind of episodic story-based narrative games, there's not a lot of opportunity for stream interactions with you guys, the viewers. However, I still do commentary over everything, and so that should be a fun stream later tonight to see how Life is Strange 2 is continuing on. All right. Tomorrow is going to be pretty interesting, because tomorrow we're going to be doing an open lobby in Mortal Kombat 11. It'll be myself and my friends Brian and Kekken taking on all challengers in an open lobby setting. It should be fun. 4 hours of kind of online gameplay. Should be sweet. Okay. Tomorrow night, I'll be returning to some chill streaming fun. So late night tomorrow night, Saturday night, I'm going to be returning to, I'm trying to think of the rotation, what we're at, Phoenix Wright Trials and Tribulations. That's right. An ongoing playthrough where I basically narrate the whole thing. I read all the text. Yes, every piece of text in Phoenix Wright I read. Sometimes I even do character voices for it. Being a visual novel game, it helps to make it more entertaining. Usually, by the way, these streams don't get many attendees, but it is what it is. That's going to be Saturday night, 2 hours of Phoenix Wright Trials and Tribulations. Then on Sunday, I'm kind of up in the air. I'm not sure what I want to do on Sunday yet. I might either play more Mortal Kombat 11, only this time try out a new character, and do stuff like do their character tutorials, play online with them, maybe do some Towers of Time challenges with them, or I may do more Days Gone. I'm undecided on what I want to do on Sunday. It's either going to be a new character in MK11 or Days Gone, okay? Sunday night, I'll be returning to, is it Minecraft? I'm trying to remember the rotation. I apologize, guys. I'm pretty sure it's Minecraft that I'll be trying Sunday night. If it's not, it's MLB The Show. It's one or the other. I have to look back at my schedule and make sure that I'm saying the right things here. But it's either going to be Minecraft or MLB The Show on Sunday night with a more chill, interactive stream. Every time I play those games, there's a lot more interaction with us just kind of talking back and forth. And then on Monday, whatever I didn't play on Sunday, so let's say, for example, I played Days Gone on Sunday, then it'll be Mortal Kombat 11 on Monday. And then whatever I didn't play Sunday night's late stream, I'll play on Monday night's late stream. So again, if it's either Minecraft or MLB, that'll be the late stream on Monday. Okay? Then on Tuesday, we've got a big new release, Rage 2. It's actually the first major new release of the month. And I know we're going to be halfway into the month at that point. Finally, to get a new release, it takes a long time to get one this month. But I'm excited for it. I love id Software games. Rage 1, not so much, but both Doom and the recent Wolfenstein games have been quite great outings. So I'm looking forward to that this Tuesday. And so basically Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'll be streaming. Probably Rage 2 paired with other stuff. We'll see. And then Friday of next week will be my day off. So 7 straight days of double streams for all of you. If you just love coming by and interacting with me and hanging out, it's going to be your cup of tea. The late night streams typically have a lot more interaction, while the earlier streams have way more kind of focus on the game, narrative, ongoing playthroughs. But that doesn't necessarily mean that I won't take time out to interact. In fact, the Days Gone streams have been very interactive recently. So, all right, guys. So there you go. That's the schedule. I wanted to get that out of the way, all right, before we get on to the daily drama of everything, okay? Now let's very briefly talk about the daily drama. Let's get it out of there, because I know some people are like, man, I come to Phil's streams just to hang out and chill and have gameplay and interaction during the gameplay. I don't want Phil to do a 4-hour pre-stream today where he talks and, doesn't ever get to the game. And the bottom line is I don't want that to happen either. And so what I want to do is kind of address what's going on and then just move on. All right. So the bottom line today is, guys, that, over the last 11 years that I've been a content creator, I have struggled, but I've always persevered. And what I mean by that is, I started off at a time on YouTube when there weren't a lot of people doing what I did. Back in 2008, I was doing live impromptu reactionary commentary to raw gameplay footage, which most people didn't do. They were either doing like formal Let's Plays with tons of tutorial style explanations, of formal walkthrough, stuff like that. Most people were doing gameplay videos without even any commentary over them. I was one of the originators who kind of popularized the idea that you could play any video game and comment over it. And I became, very popular for it. My original channel, Dark Side Phil, and then later on my current channel, DSPGaming, became virally popular on YouTube. Videos getting millions and millions of views over time, and everything was good. But sadly, over the years, because of mistakes that I made, all right, and I will openly admit that it's definitely in part because of mistakes that I made with my attitude, with stupid shit that I just said that was so dumb. Okay. And just in general circumstances, I started making videos at a time when making shorter videos made sense, like 10-minute gameplay clips, while moving down, the line on YouTube, it became way more popular and more digestible to make longer gameplay clips with edited stuff in it and thumbnails and the like, which I've never really adapted to. I always said I just want to play games and have fun. I want to be me. So putting out the raw gameplay videos that were shorter made sense to my audience who had been with me since 2008. But over the years, it just became not fun to do that kind of stuff anymore on YouTube because YouTube changed so much that it basically pushed my channel kind of to the bottom of the barrel, all right? Now, there's various things I could talk about. I became the butt of internet jokes. That Phil's a dinosaur, Phil's an outdated guy. Look, he played Metal Gear Solid series, and he sucked at it and made fun of Kojima. And so I had a rabid fan base of Metal Gear Solid fans who hated me and started this is how you don't play video series. And literally over the years, for one reason or another, I became the butt of everyone's internet joke. Literally, Dark Side Phil became the guy that you reference when you want to get a cheap pop from your viewership. It didn't matter if you were an up-and-coming guy or gal starting as a streamer or a content creator, or if you were a ginormous person with 1 million subs and super popularity and all of that. No matter who you were, if you mentioned Dark Side Phil as a joke, you got a pop, right? A cheap pop is what they call it in pro wrestling. You go to someone's hometown and you shout out the hometown to get a big pop from the crowd. So making fun of me was the way to get that cheap, laugh out of the viewership. All right. And, I had to live with that. I absolutely had to live with that. And over the years, I saw my business decline and decline and decline because of it. And there was nothing I could really do about it. There was no recourse I had as people stole my content on YouTube and made negative videos about me constantly. The sad part is that it got worse and worse. All jokes are fine. This is how you don't play. Okay, fine. Make fun of my gameplay. But then over the years, people started saying really nasty, slanderous things about me. Like, Phil's a pedophile, Phil's a scammer and a thief, and Phil's lazy, and Phil's this, and Phil's that. And basically, it was all bullshit. It was all made up. It was just trying to take, like, a moment from a stream or a moment from a video and take it out of context or twist something to be something that it definitely wasn't and make it out like I'm some kind of an internet villain. And then it became a meme to do that. So that's the problem here, is that it's one thing to make fun of someone. It's another thing to basically make them a butt of your joke to the point where you just literally make shit up about them constantly and it hurts them concretely. And it has, I've been doing this for 11 years and, these days things are not great for me behind the scenes financially at all. I've made terrible financial decisions trying to keep stuff going over times when YouTube revenue was plummeting and people were destroying my YouTube channel, DSPGaming, which they single-handedly did with false copyright strikes and all kinds of shit over the years. I've been swatted and everything. And the bottom line is I'm not here to go over the past, but just to give you guys some background of the shit that I've been through over the years as a content creator, okay? And I have strived and struggled tooth and nail to keep stuff going. As bad as it is now for me behind the scenes, financially, all right? As bad as it is, sadly, I hate to say it, I still persevere through it. And I want to say it's mostly because of the dedicated support of my viewers and fans, who a lot of them have been there since the beginning, and the ones that I picked up over the years. So if you are one of them right now, I just want to give, before I even get into the whole situation that's going on Twitter right now, I just want to say thank you for your support, because it's you guys and gals who over the years, you know what I've been through. You know what's going on behind the scenes. You know what's happening with me, and you're supportive no matter what. And, you're the reason why, even though things aren't great with me in some regards, that other things are amazing. I mean, I just got married. which is amazing, and I actually have a really good life here, with Kat, my wife, and everything is good, good in that regard. If anything, if only I could get myself a little bit more popularity like I had back in the day, I think things would be amazing. I could get myself out of the hole I'm in, but sadly, I don't think that's ever going to happen. When you become the butt of an internet joke, you become the butt of an internet joke, and some people will just make fun of you infinitely and forever. All right. However, as I just said, guys, what's happened is in the last year, we've seen a large number, not just like, 2 people, we're talking dozens of well-known internet content creators and or even collaborations that have basically been revealed to have been not what you guys thought they were. A lot of the times they were toxic relationships or things going on behind the scenes you never knew about, abuse, scamming, all kinds of shit that happens that you guys just don't know because all you see is that facade that content creators put out to the internet, right? But what we're finding now in this modern day and age is that you can't get away with anything. Okay, you can't. When you are a content creator on the internet, your life is public. It doesn't matter how much you try to hide or keep behind the scenes. If you do something wrong, you're going to get caught and you're going to get called out for it. It's just going to happen. Okay? So, the truth of the matter here is, for me, I've made many mistakes over the years, and people have called me out for them fairly, and then sadly, a lot of people always make shit up and call me out for stuff that's completely unfair and not true. And I've been destroyed for it in a lot of ways. You remember 3 years ago, guys, a little over 3 years ago at this point, I had an unfortunate incident on stream where the webcam was left on inadvertently. And even though, thank goodness, I don't have any kind of a setup where you can see much but my face, and the mic was muted, it was insanely embarrassing. And this became a huge internet meme across the entire internet. I became the laughingstock of the internet, as if I wasn't bad enough that I wasn't, a laughingstock. I definitely became a laughingstock at that point. All right? And if people had not made fun of me up to then, I mean, now it was like, this is it. This is the guy you make fun of. This is the guy who did one of the most embarrassing things ever on the internet, and he'll never live it down. He's going to definitely fall into oblivion now. We'll never see him again. And that was it, and people kind of wrote me off. But instead of taking it as that, I spun it into a joke, into a positive, and said, yeah, it happened, and there's no way I can deny it, and it's something that is really fucking stupid, and obviously I'll never make that mistake again, but I laugh with it, and I will laugh with all of you as you make fun of me, because admittedly, it's pretty fucking funny that it happened, and the way that it happened, alright? And because of that, because I approached it like that, it actually, in reality, was not that much of a negative in the short term. It ended up becoming like almost a boost for me, which was inadvertent. It obviously was an accident. It's not anything I would have planned. But it was pretty wild the way that it kind of actually gave me kind of a boost of popularity 3 years ago. All right. But that boost of popularity did not last. It was very short-lived. Maybe for about 3-4 months, I got some hype behind my streams. People wanted to come by. Oh, is that the guy that did that? Let's see if he's any good. And then in reality, a lot of people said, wow, we like his streams. We'll hang around. We'll be supportive, right? Sadly, since then, things have still gone south. YouTube's bottom line has fallen out. You cannot make a living being a YouTuber anymore unless you have a ridiculous amount of views and subs. It's just not possible. And I was one of those people who, up to this point of early 2017, I was making a living solely on the ad revenue from YouTube. And when YouTube's ad apocalypse began, that was it for me. So what I've done in the last 2 to 2.5 years is I've changed up my formula completely and become a full-time live streamer with pure, full-time interactivity where I'm talking with all of you. I'm giving you shout-outs for your contributions. It's a very different kind of thing of content creating that I do now than I ever did, way back then for those 7+ years that I was doing it, all right? And so even though we had this really embarrassing thing happen in 2016. Even though YouTube's bottom line fell out, I still was able to keep things going. And to this day, I'm still able to keep things afloat, even though things are very tight and challenging for me. I still have a dedicated fan base, and I still put out streams every single day when I can. Once a week, I get a day off to spend with my wife. That's it. Every other day, I'm here all day long. And, it is what it is. That's my life right now, okay? So in reality, this last year has been very eye-opening, I think, for a lot of people. I think what they're finally starting to realize is that these people who are content creators, who everyone says are so good and, they're wholesome people, I call this the Cosby effect, ladies and gentlemen. The Bill Cosby effect, where there's someone who was in our lives as some kind of a public figure who we believed was some kind of a paragon of excellence, a paragon of morality. And then in reality, when we get the truth of the matter coming out, these people were actually vile degenerates. All right? And there's lots of examples. I could sit here and cite a ton. I'm really not going to, because I don't want to be crazy about it here. All right? I don't want to start calling out a million names, but I do want to talk about the one situation in particular that's happening right now, unfolding live on the internet for the last 24 hours. I wasn't even aware of it. I was on my day off yesterday, okay? My day off from streaming at all. I'm usually disconnected from the internet, but it just so happens that during the day I had a few minutes to myself. I opened up my Twitter feed. I'm like, holy Testicle Tuesday. What the fuck is this? I never expected to see anything like this. And I'm not going to go into massive detail about it. All right, I'm just not. If you want to know the full story, I urge for you to just go on Twitter or go on social media yourself. There's a million threads and videos already about it. People jumping on the bandwagon to make a buck off of this situation, which always happens. I was on my day off. I was like, I'm not going to bother with this crap. But basically knowing that I'm always the butt of jokes and I'm the guy who never got away with anything because, you know, look at what happened in 2016, right? I made a post on Twitter and I said, you know, it's now coming to light that these certain people who everyone thought was kind of wholesome aren't. And being the guy who never was able to get away with anything, what I've learned over the past 11 years is that you can't. When you do something wrong as a content creator, your life is public and people are going to find out and call you out for it. You're not going to be able to hide it or get away with it. And it's a shame that you've got people now who are failing because of cheating on their significant others or scamming people behind the scenes. And that's what they're failing for, even though they had ginormous successful fan bases and viewerships, instead of on the quality of their content. Imagine actually putting out content that everyone loves, but because you're a scumbag behind the scenes, you fail and everything falls apart. And sadly, that's what's been happening with a lot of content creators these past few years, as story after story after story starts coming out about it. All right. So I made this one post. And, you know, it got some traction. The thing is, my Twitter almost never gets any traction. Reason being is because there's people who hate me so much. As I told you guys, people who stalk me and hate me so much, they will literally find people who like my tweets and stalk them. They're like, if you like anything Phil puts out there, we're going to come after you and we're going to harass you on social media and shit. So even though I have some like I had 23,000. I think at this point I might have like 25,000 because I got so many new Twitter followers in the last like 12 hours. But, you know, I had like 23,000 Twitter followers. But in reality, when I tweet, 400,000 people see my tweets. That's not an exaggeration. I actually used a couple analyzation programs and things to figure out how popular actually is my Twitter account. Even though it says only 23,000 people follow me, I get like over 400,000 impressions on every fucking tweet I put out. Even though no one likes or retweets them, like tons of people see my tweets. Okay? So, I put out this tweet and it didn't really get a lot of traction. I think it maybe got between like 100 to 200 likes or something like that on Twitter. All right. So later in the day, I come home and finally, you know, I had a busy day out with my wife. I come home and now it's time to relax. I'm unwinding. I open up Twitter again, and people have contacted me, and they're like, "Man, you know, did you really see the whole situation or whatever?" And one person in particular says, "Phil, you do realize that this person who his life has fallen apart in the last 24 hours for infidelity, cheating on his wife, and a million other things going on behind the scenes. You do realize this person 3 years ago shitposted you for absolutely no fucking reason to get a laugh." Said, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all because everyone does it. It's like I said. Sadly, there's people out there who this is what they do. They take the easy pot shot at me, the butt of the internet joke of content creation, right? To try to say, oh, you know, let's get a cheap pop out of our viewing audience. So in particular, you know, this guy did this over 3 years ago, and I just read the tweet that he put out there, and for him, all right, this tweet to him was kind of like, oh, let's just make fun of someone who's already beaten down. I know this guy's way below me in popularity, but, you know, let's just kick down and piss down even further on the people under me just for a cheap laugh, you know. Basically, a really nasty, malicious thing to do just to get cheap popularity out of your audience. It was completely irresponsible what this guy fucking did. I never had said a negative word about him. I didn't know much about him. In fact, if you guys don't know, I went to Screw Attack Gaming Convention in 2013. This was when they used to have these big conventions in Texas. And I was one of the guests, you know, a content creator guest at the event. But almost no one came to see me. They all came to see this particular guy. All right? And this guy had previously been a part of Screw Attack as a content creator and then went off to do his own thing and become actually popular on YouTube. So he was one of the featured guys at the event, right? So just imagine, this is an event that we kind of co-headlined, even though he was way more popular than me. Oh, a couple years later, I think I'll just say something really nasty about him on the fucking internet just for a cheap pop, right? Even though I'm way more popular than him, let's just do that. So if anything, you know, just this is evidence that this guy was a scumbag to begin with. Back, you know, years ago, before any of this new stuff came to public light, that this guy was basically an asshole, okay? Now, at the time, I said nothing. Because the bottom line is, like I said, on a daily basis, this happens to me probably dozens of times. Content creators will bring me up and make me the butt of their jokes and just say nasty shit about me. And I'm just like, well, let it roll. You know, if I just sat here and I addressed every negative thing every content creator said about me, I would never actually put out any content of my own. I'm just being honest here. There would be no content of my own. This would just be me all day, every day addressing it. So there's no point, okay? I move forward positively. I'm the kind of person that I would rather focus on good stuff. I would rather focus on positive, productive content. Let's put out a fun, interactive stream today with a new game rather than, oh, let's just sit here and have a drama fest, stream. That's not what I'm about. Even though I am an interactive streamer now, and if people bring up drama, I will address their questions about it. I try not to make my streams the entirety end all be all about that shit. Okay? So that being said, this person shows me this tweet, and I'm like, man, so behind the scenes, this guy was a complete scumbag. Right? All these horrible things that are coming out that this guy had actually done. And this guy had the fucking audacity. He was so fucking full of himself. Being at the top of the world, having 1 million YouTube subs, making tons of money hand over fist on his fucking YouTube channels. And this motherfucker went out of his way to piss on me. I said, guess what? I think it's finally time that DSP bites back a little bit. So I took his tweet and I directly quoted it and basically copied what he said almost word for word. And basically said, you know, because his tweet, actually, you know what? I should read it so you guys understand what I'm talking about, because you guys might not understand what I'm talking about. So it was early 2016. His tweet said, I took a wrong turn on the internet and ended up reading DSP hilarity. Haha, whoops. Okay? So that's the usual kind of stab that everyone takes at me. That I'm a joke. You know, I don't do anything productive. I'm a negative, toxic guy. And everything about me is just laugh jokes, right? So I directly quoted his tweet. And I said, took a day off from the entire internet, but ProJared hilarity was at top of everyone's Twitter feed. Haha, whoops. And as of now, that tweet now has over 4,000 likes, over 1,000 retweets. So after I did that, people were contacting me and saying, oh my God, like, did you actually wait 3 years to strike back at this guy? And in reality, no. In reality, I had forgotten completely about it. Like I said, this is a commonplace thing for me. But someone had tweeted me this and said, are you aware that this guy actually insulted you directly 3 years ago? I was like, no. Well, you know what? Fuck it. All right, so I did that. Okay. And I put out that tweet and people really seemed to like it. They're like, wow, this is funny. You know, it's funny that you're even getting on this, right? So I said, all right, you know what? This is the time and place to do this. Because I've been biding my time. I seriously, ladies and gentlemen, have been biding my fucking time for years. I've been waiting for this moment. Because everyone wanted to make me the joke. But you know what? Despite all the shit people have done to me, the horrible things they've done trying to ruin my livelihood and take away my financial, you know, my income, ruining my YouTube channels, trying to get me banned from Twitch, getting me kicked out of Twitch's sponsorship program when I did absolutely nothing wrong, all the fucking online harassment that I've suffered, the swatting, the mental harassment from people, not only myself, but my fucking family and my wife and everyone who gets harassed just because I venture on the internet to make content, you know. Now's the time. So I decided to make a new post. The post goes as follows. Pro tip for content creators. If you've done something worse than this, whether it's public or not yet, quit. And you were saying, what? Well, worse than what? I put the picture of my incident from 3 years ago, my embarrassing moment. I put it on the tweet. I said, because I'm still here and you won't be. And good luck living with that. So I put that post up, and as of now, it's got 11,100 likes, over 3,000 retweets. pretty major content creators like Boogie, as well as many others. It's not just him, but many other content creators saw this and not only liked it but retweeted it. Boogie actually said it's officially his favorite tweet ever. And by the way, I should say this: if you're one of the big content creators who did kind of give this post traction, okay, thank you, because it's very rare. It's very rare when I actually get any kind of positivity thrown towards me at all these days. The only people who do it are the hardcore viewers who are here every day on stream. Very rarely do I get any kind of positivity. In fact, I mean, just to give you an example, during my freaking wedding, I posted up the wedding photos, and not a single other content creator on the internet came to me and said congratulations. None. You know, because I had become the butt of the internet's jokes, and so to actually interact positively with DSP was like the kiss of death. Don't get, that guy's toxic. In reality, I'm not the toxic one. It's the people who have turned me into the internet's joke that made the toxic situation what it is. But it was actually nice. It was actually nice to actually see some people come out and do some positive stuff towards me. Okay. So thank you very much for that. I appreciate that. Okay. Whoever positively shared, this, I appreciate it. So anyway, I put out this tweet, and overnight it went viral with so many people sharing it or whatever. I gained, no lie, at this point, probably about 1,500 Twitter followers, if not more. The thing is, this tweet is going viral. Like, in the last hour, it's gained over 1,000 likes, and it's actually gaining traction, getting more and more. My Twitter feed is exploding with people. Now, the thing is, I know it's not going to last. This is the kind of thing that happened to me 3 years ago when I had my incident, right? I had a little bit of positivity once I fessed up to it, admitted it. It lasted a couple weeks, and then after that, things kind of calmed down. And I'll be very honest with all of you. I have no idea if any of you are actually here on the stream just to hear me talk about this. And after I finish this story, you're just going to take off. And, if you do, you do. I really don't expect any kind of long-standing positive effect to come from this, as much as that would be amazing. And it could help me to kind of turn things around behind the scenes financially, because I am in a really bad rut right now because of so much shit that's happened to me over the years, and it would really help me to get more attention on my streams and more contributions. The bottom line is, as I'm about to tell you guys, the bottom line is, I rely pretty much solely on crowdfunding in order to keep things going. All right? And I used to be able to just rely on YouTube ad income. I can't do that anymore. I make almost nothing on YouTube. No exaggeration. When I used to make a living doing YouTube, now I probably make 1/10 of as much money income a month from ad revenue as I used to. 1/10 as much as I used to on YouTube. So I had to dramatically change my format to be an interactive streamer and constantly be doing shoutouts and thank yous for all of your contributions and everything, which is great. I love it. In fact, I think my content's better. But I do rely on crowdfunding now to make ends meet, So it would be amazing if in the next few weeks we get more viewers on the streams as a result of this, and people, wow, Phil actually isn't the bad guy that people always purported him to be. In fact, what he's pointing out is that his worst moment is nowhere near as bad as what people make it out to be. Look at how all these other content creators actually were secretly shitheads behind the scenes, and we've been supporting and giving them crowdfunding for years, and they never fucking deserved it because they were toxic scumbags, while in reality, DSP wasn't so bad. Certainly not perfect, and he makes tons of mistakes, but he's still an entertaining guy that we maybe should have not beaten down as much as we did over the last 10 years, and then he wouldn't be in the situation he's in, So the bottom line is this, guys. Thank you so much for any kind of positivity, all right? And the truth of the matter is that, like I said, I don't expect anything. I really don't expect anything long-term as a positive effect of this at all, as much as I would like it. I've got over 1,000 new people who follow me on Twitter. Those people aren't going to stick around because they just want to see drama every day. They're there to, who's Phil going to attack and take down next? I'm probably not going to. This is just kind of a one-time thing where this is a situation I had a chance to strike back on someone who was nasty to me 3 years ago, and it was the perfect timing, the perfect stab back. And, it is what it is, okay? So, thank you all for your support and everything. I do appreciate it. What I'll do now, just very quickly, like I said, I don't want this pre-stream to be the entirety of my stream. So what I'm going to do is transition now into plugs so you guys understand. You know, there's many ways you can support me. You've been seeing this on the pre-stream. I have a Patreon. I have a Teespring. In fact, I'm wearing one of my shirts from Teespring right now, which in my opinion is one of the more, I just clicked the wrong thing. It's one of the more inspirational shirts that I have. You know, 10 years of Dark Side Phil. And outside of those 10 years, 7 years I've been the butt of the internet's joke. Yeah, I'm still here every single day putting out content for all of you guys. You know, because I love what I do. I love my viewer base. I want to keep doing this, despite the fact that there's people who literally will at every moment make a joke at my expense, like Mr. ProJared, who now is the butt of everyone else's joke and pretty much has been destroyed and he has no more career whatsoever. I'm still here, man, and I'm still toughing through it, and I'm not giving up, you know. I'm going to keep doing this, what I love, for as long as I can, even though I know I can't do it forever. Eventually, I'm going to get older. I'm not going to be able to do it. I'm going to have to transition into something else. You know, I just want to say thanks to those who allow me to do it for as long as I have, and you know, hopefully I can keep it up, at least, you know, in the short term. All right? So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, rather than going to a million ways that you guys can support me, the best thing I'm going to say today is if you cheer, sub, or tip during my streams, I'll give you a shout-out, a verbal shout-out. Keep in mind that what I try to do is not derail the stream, so if it's during gameplay, I will still give you a shout-out, and if there's a question or whatever, I'll still answer it. But understand that if it's something completely unrelated to what's going on with this whole Jared situation or the game I'm playing, I might not address it. I usually do not address politics or religion whatsoever on my streams, and I certainly do not address things like insults towards myself or other content creators, toxic comments, you know, memes that are meant to be malicious, that kind of stuff I just kind of ignore. It's very subjective what I say on my streams, up to me, and I'm not going to make this the let's all roast ProJared 24/7 for the next week kind of a deal. I'm not going to do that. You know, it's okay to ask, it's okay to talk about it. It's not okay to just make it 100% about it, okay? Now, we have a sub goal for this month of 500 subscribers. Right now, we're around 460. I suspect we may have gone up a couple today already. But if we hit 500 subscribers on my channel at any point during May, I'm going to be doing a special retrospective marathon event where we will go back and watch all kinds of fun content together from my 11-year history as a content creator on the internet. These are very fun, reminiscing streams where I kind of give commentary on some stuff that maybe I've never even seen before since the day I put it out. And a lot of the times I have behind-the-scenes commentary about things that were happening at the time. They've been very popular events, and I hope that we can hit the subscriber goal this month so we can do it again, because I really do enjoy those events, all right? But in particular, everybody, if you really want to help me out, all right, if you're not, wow, you know, I'm a longtime viewer of Phil, I want to help him, or I'm a relatively new viewer of Phil, this whole situation is awesome, you know, what's going on, people are seeing Phil in a positive light, I want to help support him, or if you're just a newcomer, the first time you're ever here, as a basis of what happened on Twitter, and you want to support me the most, please tip me today. All right, I'm in a bad financial situation right now, but it's behind the scenes. I'm not going to tell you guys publicly about what's going on because it's not going to help anything to disclose this to you guys. It's just not. But right now, I basically have no money, and it sucks. All the tips that people have given me the last week, I put into my bank account to pay bills. It's already gone, and I'm not getting paid by Twitch for another week. So anything you guys give me with tips right now is basically what I'm using to pay bills for the next week. And if I can't pay a bill, it overdraws my bank account or whatever. It is what it is. It sucks. That's the shitty situation I'm actually in because of circumstances. And yes, a lot of those circumstances are my fault, terrible decisions that I made. All right, financial decisions. But also, it's a lot of these internet jokes and things about me have hurt my business to the point where I can barely even make ends meet anymore because of the shit that's happened to me over the years. So if you want to help with that, please tip me. There's 2 ways you could tip me onto the streams. First, there's a tips jar button below the stream you can click on. If you don't see a tip jar button, you can type !tip into the stream chat. That will bring up a link that you can click on to go to my PayPal tips page. And a couple things about tipping me. Number one, you could do it anonymously. If, like, man, I want to support Phil, but I don't want people to know it was me, especially with all the toxicity and hate on him. I don't want people coming after me for it. You could tip anonymously and not use your name, and that way no one will know it's you. That's number one. Number two, you don't need a PayPal account to tip me. You can actually use a debit or credit card straight through that page. You don't need an account. That's a misconception. And anything, you guys lend is going straight to bills, so please consider tipping me today, if at all you can, all right? I appreciate any contributions. You guys want to check out my Patreon, or you want to go to a Teespring and buy some merch, or you want to cheer or sub, that's great, but tipping me today is the way to really help me the most. All right, everybody? Fair enough. Now let's go to shout-outs. I actually want to give direct shout-outs to those who have already been supportive on the stream, and then we're going to get started with Days Gone. I'm not making this pre-stream all about this drama shit, okay? All right, so first of all, a few shout-outs to those who actually contributed when I wasn't even here on my day off yesterday. They came by and were very supportive. Golden Colts did several cheers. Thank you very much, Golden Colts. And Infinite also did a 1,000-bit cheer. So thank you, Infinite. And then Golden Colts actually cheered even more overnight this night. So thank you guys very much for your overnight support. It is much appreciated. Gamma tipped me $10 overnight. And he says, I can't catch the stream, but I wanted to shoot some bucks your way. Your Twitter had me in stitches this morning. I'll say it again. DSP wins. Keep kicking ass, man. Thank you very much, Gamma, for that very supportive, not only tip, but positive message. Very much appreciated. All right, now we're going to get to people who actually contributed while the stream was live. So we actually start off with Master Shake, who tipped me $1.50, and we're going to go ahead and get him up on the leaderboard as the top tipper so far. I don't know why this is in caps. I guess I have my caps lock on. Shit. Hold on a second. That's $1.50. And Master Shakes, and by the way, I'm not going to do cents, so I'm just going to say total tips is $1 today. Okay. All right. So Master Shake tipped me $1.50 and said, Final Fantasy VII Remake has now reemerged. It's still episodic. Do you think it's a smart move to keep it that way, or should it release as a full game? I think they're going to make more money making it episodic. I do. I fully believe they're going to make more money making it episodic. If the game is going to be insanely, incredibly long, like let's say it's going to be like an 80 to 100 hour RPG because they're really fleshing out each segment of the game as its own kind of thing, sure, then making it episodic makes sense. But if they're going to have, the game's 6 episodes, and each episode's 10 hours long, and each episode costs, $60, well, of course not. That's insanity, okay? So really, I have no problem with episodic games as long as the content is long enough to support the episodic structure and as long as the pricing is realistic. And another big thing about episodic games, as long as the release schedule is reasonable. Not, episode 1 comes out in 2020, episode 2 comes out in 2022, episode 3 comes out in 2025. You see what I mean? Then what's the point of the episodic thing? Like, we need to have a set schedule when we know when to expect these games. So if you buy, say, the pass for the entire game that's $60 or whatever, you know when you're going to be able to play said game. Not that you're waiting endlessly forever, to see it happen. Because, if anything, with The Walking Dead's final season, I think we've learned that these episodic games aren't even a guarantee anymore. It never, The Walking Dead's final season almost didn't happen, almost didn't complete. So, it is what it is, but I don't really think we have enough details to really make a judgment about it yet, okay? Hot Stuff Chris has resubscribed for 30 months. Thank you very much, Hot Stuff Chris, for the 30-month resub. Frogs Playing Golf cheered 50 bits. A shout out to ProJared for that lean-in manual divorce. Well, there you go. Victoria Gold for Mod tipped me $1 and said, I watched the tractor content along with your normal streams, but I'm not malicious and I don't want to see you go out of business. I wanted to say your pinned tweet on Twitter is fucking amazing. It's not much, but here's $1. All right, thank you very much, Victoria Gold for Mod. I appreciate that. Abigail Rayfinger did a 255-bit cheer, and that actually makes them the top cheerer so far of today. So let's go ahead and put them up on there. 255 bits. Vote Republican tipped me $15 and says Big Philly swinging his big Edict Willie. Well, thank you very much, Vote Republican, for that. I appreciate that. That is the biggest tip of the day so far. Let's get you up on the leaderboard, okay? And by the way, I should say, by no means does that mean that I support any kind of political affiliation. I don't. And I don't talk about that on my streams, but he is the top tipper, so he has to get credit where credit is due, okay? All right, continuing on. Hodor Tar cheered. He says, I don't know much about the Jared fiasco, but every time you engage in trash talk, I feel like people end up fucking buried beyond return. Do you remember Tony Turner? He's a white Bill Cosby now. And keep the meme tweets going. They're top content. Real talk. The thing is, I think the reason that it stings when I actually take a jab at someone is because I don't always do it. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many people out there who over the years have personally attacked me directly. But again, to get that cheap pop, to get that instant recognition and the cheap laugh from their viewing audience, I've always said this, I feel those people are hacks. If all you can do is get cheap pops from your viewers, it means that you don't have any valid content to put out there. You just have to do what you know is easy, the easy way out, the easy laugh, the easy attention, right? So I don't take cheap pops. I don't. But in this particular case with Jared, this is someone who had out of nowhere insulted me years ago, even though we had, you know, a positive affiliation at a Screw Attack Gaming Convention in the past. And I was like, you know what? Fuck this guy. Just being honest. So I think the reason it stings so bad is because I don't usually do this, and I perfectly summed it up, and I perfectly basically destroyed the guy with what I said, and there you have it. There you have it. At this point now, it's, let's see here. 11,300 likes and growing. So there you go. As I said, it really is just growing and growing here. So, all right. Code Castiel has resubscribed for 2 months. Thank you very much, Code Castiel, for the resub. I appreciate that. Philly Buckeye ESP cheered. He says, how can people still justify hating on you so much considering all the terrible stuff these other people are doing? It just makes the treatment you get pretty BS. I mean, I've only been saying that since the beginning. Like, the thing is, and this is the problem when you get a meme that attaches to you. When you have a negative meme attached to you, it doesn't matter if it's true or not. And the problem is I've become the butt of the internet's jokes so badly that whenever you hear something about DSP, you just believe it, right? Oh, yeah, I believe that that he hired an escort with money that he claimed was for his back state taxes situation, and he flew her across the globe, and the whole thing was bullshit. And this happens all the time. People make these stories up with no actual evidence because they're not true at all. But people just believe it. And then I become the butt of the internet jokes, and people hate on me, and I can't ever have any real significant growth or whatever because of this nonsense. And it's people like Jared who pile on that mentality with tweets and insults towards me that, now karma comes back, All right. Dormammu tipped me $5 and said, I've come to bargain. Alrighty then, Dormammu wants to bargain with me. Well, maybe I should listen. I don't know. I'll have to wait for the follow-up. Thank you very much, Dormammu, for the $5 tip. Keemstar, the actual Keemstar, tipped me $5. He says, Phil, don't go down the path of drama content creator. It's lonely and backstabby. Stay doing what you do. Trust me, I'm not doing that. That's what I want to assure my longtime viewers and fans here. I'm not doing that. I'm going to stay true to who I am. And I'm going to continue to put out fun, interactive streams for you guys on a daily basis. I'm not going to make this all about drama. This was kind of a one-time thing where it was the perfect opportunity to do what I did. And, I'm not even going to harp on it. It's not even like I'm going to, Phil's going to keep talking about this now. No, I just wanted to address it this once. Again, if people bring it up today with contributions or whatever and they want to talk about it on the streams, I'll talk about it. But I'm not going to beat the dead horse at this point. I've said what I had to say on Twitter. It exploded. Over 11,000 likes and still growing. Like I said, exponentially. Looks like I'm at about 1,000 likes an hour at this point. Let it ride. See what happens. Go from there. But I'm not going to make this become my be-all, end-all. Much like, 3 years ago with my accident. I didn't make that my be-all, end-all. Right? I didn't. It was a thing. It happened. I referenced it for a little while. And then it kind of went into the background. And we went on and positively. And that's how things are going to go this time as well. Okay? All right. Oh, crap. Don't freeze now. Okay. Yum Yums did a 50-bit cheers. He's glad I could join you again. Do you ever honestly think the detractors will leave you alone? No. I really don't. And I hate to say that because I wish they would. I wish that a situation like this where they're like, damn, we give Phil the benefit of the doubt. That was a good one. That maybe they would now just leave me alone. But undoubtedly, here's what will happen. Maybe I'll be left alone for a week. And then they'll get bored. And they'll realize, man, life without making fun of DSP is a boring life. We got to get back to it. Because that's what these people do. I mean, that's why, they made me the butt of the joke for so long. They don't even know how to go on without me continuing to make me the butt of the joke. So they'll find something that I'll do wrong or a flaw that I have to micro-analyze and basically make me look terrible. And I know it. I just, I'm used to it at this point. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. And that's just my life, probably for the rest of my life, as sad as that sounds. Bill Cosby tipped me $1. He says, at least I'm not a pedophile like that Subway Jared bastard. I mean, that's probably the worst. That probably is the absolute worst you could do is like that. Yeah, I mean, damn. But I'm not going to be, I guess murder might be even worse. But I don't know. Let's not talk about that. Charlie Sheen tipped me $1. And basically said some messed up stuff about ProJared I'm not going to say. All right? I'm not going to say it. But I want to thank you for the $1 tip regardless. Okay, let's keep going here. Wow, Saddam Hussein himself has come back from the dead and tipped me $5. Well, thank you to Saddam Hussein. I appreciate it. I don't really like some of the things you did when you were alive, but maybe this is a solid. I don't know. Freddie B. Mackin just gifted us up to Suck a Surprise. Congrats to Suck a Surprise, and thank you, Freddie B. Mackin, for the ongoing support. Red Hand Commando tipped me $5 and said every dog has his day, and you're absolutely right. Every dog does have his day. You know, I don't get them too often. Just being very honest here, I don't. I very rarely get any kind of positive association with anything at all. Okay, so this is a rarity for me, and it, you know, hopefully we have a good streaming day and everything turns out all right. Okay, Freddie B. Mackin did a 500-bit cheer. That actually makes Freddie B. Mackin the top cheer of the day. Let's get him up on the leaderboard before we read what he had to say. Shit, I screwed it all up. Okay, is that correct? Freddie B. Mackin. It is correct. All right, he says, I have an observation, and you can tell me if this is correct. You lost your office job, but then became self-employed. As a result, you gained more money than your office job, but you also work more hours. Is this assumption correct? Also, is it worth it? Well, Freddie B. Mackin, yes and no. And what I mean by that is, when I was doing my standard office job work, when I was a customer service rep, you know, I worked the 40 hours a week salary that I was supposed to work. Later on, when they decided to take me kind of out of that role and instead push me into doing other things like continuous improvement, I was working 60 plus hours a week and not getting paid any extra money for it. In fact, I was kind of discouraged from trying to actually claim overtime. You know, and in addition to that, yes, now I definitely make more money than I ever did at the office job, but if I had stayed at that office job for the last, you know, 10 years, I mean, I got laid off in late 2010, so I guess 9 years, you know, with raises and things, I might have been making more money now at that job consistently than I am, you know, as a streamer. But at the same time, there was no job security. That whole company has fallen apart. That company that I worked for as an office job, literally, it doesn't exist anymore as it did. They were basically liquidated and things were sold off and separated. So, you know, it wouldn't have mattered. Even if I had stayed with that job, you know, I still would have lost my job anyway. But no, you're right. I went self-employed and I make more money than I used to at the job. But it's true, I work way more hours now. Just think about it. 6 days a week. I start streaming at 10. I really don't finish my work day until 10. And even though I take a break in between there for dinner, I mean, I'm working long-ass days, 6 days a week, and I only get 1 day a week off to spend with my wife. It's tough. When I had the office job, I had about 2 days off a week at least. So, it's tough, man. But I love what I do for a living. And I think that's the ultimate difference, is when I had the office job, I didn't feel like I was valued at what I was doing. I mean, the fact that they laid me off showed that. Via now, I really feel, again, even though with all the, being the butt of the internet joke and being harassed for years, I still feel like I have value in what I'm doing because I have a dedicated viewer base who come back every day to support me. So, Jerry Lawler tipped me $2 and says, don't read my name online. Guess what, Jerry Lawler? That's not how it works. But anyway, I'm not going to read your message because it seems like your message has absolutely nothing to do with tipping. But thank you for the $2 tip regardless. You can't have your name show up and then tell me don't read it. That's not how it works. Almighty Bourbon tipped me $1. Says, I was on a retro binge and I loved it when you read. You have to do that more often. Quick question, favorite pizza toppings? I don't have favorite pizza toppings. I received an anonymous $5 tip. Thank you very much, whoever this is, the anonymous $5 tipper. I appreciate that. Judicious Echoes did a 1,000-bit cheer. Wow, that actually makes him the top cheerer of the day. So let's get Judicious Echoes up here on the leaderboard, okay? Alrighty. Spitzer YB. Cheers is, I want to say that I really love... Wow, I'm not saying that. Anyway, thank you for the 100-bit cheer. Holy shit. The World is Not Black and White tipped me $1. And says, Fortnite is in the 9th season, still going strong as ever. It was even featured in Avengers Endgame. We see you play Fortnite in a couple years, like how you're doing with Minecraft in 2019. Like you said, the world is not black and white. I don't know. Like, I just don't like the game. The difference is, when I didn't play Minecraft, alright, and I said negative things about Minecraft, it was based off of ignorance. And this is what I mean about how in the past I was an idiot back in the day when I started up on YouTube, and I understand why some people hate me for that stuff I did back then. You know, I talked massive shit about Minecraft without ever having played it. But when I finally got around to giving it a shot, I kind of finally understood why people liked it. I was like, wow, there actually is a ton to this game that I never understood. This is a game that can be played multiple different ways by many different people, and they could all enjoy it. This is great for interactive streams. Like, you know what I mean? Now, the difference here is I've played Fortnite. I played it when it first released as a new release. I played it a couple months later when it had content updates. I even played it again when it was become virally popular. And every time I played it, I didn't like it. And by the way, this is not because, people will say, oh, you didn't like it because you suck at it. I won a match before. I've won a match of Fortnite before. And I don't like the game. I just don't like the cartooniness to it. I don't like that the gunplay is kind of RNG. It's not consistent, in my opinion. I don't like the building at all. I think that's a terrible aspect of it. When I do a Battle Royale survival style game, I don't want to be building towers and bouncing off fucking trampolines and doing double backflip rocket shots, and it's just stupid to me. Like, it seems to me the game is based to be attractive to children and make them spend a ton of money on microtransactions than actually focusing on being a good game. And that's from someone who's played it. It's not that I'm just making it up. You know, I played it and I don't like it. So, I don't think in the case that you're bringing up here, that's the situation. It's not a situation where I was ignorant to the game and I didn't play it, and I just ridiculously insulted it with nothing warranting it. It's actually quite the opposite, where I've played it and I just don't like it because I don't like it. You know what I mean? So there you go. So now, for more than likely in years, I will not be going back like Minecraft and playing it. 1 Ton Hammer did 100-bit cheers, and now that you've done verbally smacking that guy around on Twitter, you can celebrate by finally playing Danganronpa V3. Fantastic. No, sadly, there's no way that I could play Danganronpa V3 right now. I'm in the middle of Phoenix Wright Trials and Tribulations, which is another visual novel style game, and it's probably going to take me quite a long time to get through it. So once we're wrapped up with Phoenix Wright, then we can consider maybe another visual novel, although I'll be honest with you, more than likely I'll be starting up some kind of a turn-based RPG, once I finish Phoenix Wright, and then maybe after that, I would consider Danganronpa V3. Alright, fair enough? Okay, let's continue. Alexander Rossi cheered, said, which Jared do you hate more, the Subway guy or the YouTube guy? I don't hate any of them. That's the thing, a lot of people have a misconception about me. I don't hate them. Look, they're fucked up people. They do fucked up things behind the scenes that never should have become, public. But the bottom line is this. There's a few things you need to understand. Number one, when you're a public-facing content creator, your life is not private, and things may come to light that you don't want. Therefore, the best way to go about it is to not do horrible fucking things. I mean, I don't know how you could think you're going to cheat on your wife and eventually divorce her, and it's not going to come out publicly all the fucked up stuff you've done behind the scenes. I mean, it's pretty obvious it's going to. That's number one. Number two, and I hate to say this, guys, but this is this one's on some of you guys, depending on the people you watch and support. You have to understand something. Every day, who you choose to come and watch on Twitch and you go to watch their videos on YouTube, the person who you throw $1 of support, the person who you buy their merch or you pledge to their Patreon or, whatever it is, whatever method of contribution you may do, you have to understand that you're contributing to a certain kind of culture, all right? If you're someone on YouTube who has 1 million subscribers, who has ridiculous amounts of views on every video, all right, and they're living the dream already, and you go and send them money, you know what I mean? Versus someone who's out there who's struggling. There's tons of independent people putting out insanely high quality content on a daily basis, and they're completely overlooked because YouTube has created this system where only the people who are at the top can even be seen anymore, all right? So you have to understand that when you throw your support towards someone who already has support and doesn't really need it, versus someone who is struggling and needs that support desperately, you're basically creating a culture of that type of person only being successful and no one else can ever be successful at all. All right? And I've been saying this for years. You have to be very careful, the people who you support, because the bottom line is a lot of these people who are virally popular are popular for the wrong reasons, or they're popular because, you don't really know who they are. And the next thing you know, you get a ProJared who, oh shit, I supported this guy for years. Behind the scenes, he was actually a piece of shit, and you supported him for how long? Versus someone out there who isn't huge, who needs the support, who's struggling on a daily basis, and you kind of just didn't give them the time of day because you were so into this guy who was overhyped over here. You see what I mean? You got to be careful. You got to be careful who you lend your time and support to, because you may have ended up supporting someone for years who just ends up being a scumbucket versus someone who actually maybe is being unfairly treated. I'm just saying. All right, let's continue. Man, my screen scrolled so much I can't even see. Okay. Infinite Sphere tipped me $5.62 and says, Phil, I cannot wait for Rage 2. Let's have a great stream today. Thank you very much, Infinite Sphere. Actually, I can't wait for Rage 2 either. I'm very excited for it. I hope it's good. Like, I was hyped for Rage and it wasn't that good. But then again, I wasn't too hyped for Doom because Rage wasn't that good, and Doom ended up being exceptionally good. So let's hope for the best with Rage 2 later this week. Okay? All right, continuing on. Fred Flintstone Cheers. Can we get a quick shout out to Snow Bunny? You mean Snowball? Right here. Snowball behind me, my mascot, who you'll see on camera today. All right, shout out to Snowball. Let's see here. Wow, okay. Poison Ghost tipped me $20. First of all, thank you very much for that tip. Much appreciated. Top tip of the day. Let's get you up on the leaderboard, and then we'll read what you had to say here. And don't worry, everyone. We're going to get to Days Gone, but, you know, I knew this was going to happen. It would be an exciting pre-stream with so many people coming in. So, you know, once I get through shoutouts, we're going to get started. I promise. So, $20 tip for Poison Ghost. Thank you very much. And Poison Ghost says the following. DSP for life. I've been watching you since your camcorder days. That was quite a long time ago. He says, everyone go donate $1 on Patreon. DSP tries at destroying child predators. Well, I don't even know what the hell he's talking about there, because to my knowledge, that's not even the situation we're discussing today. But thank you for your support. All right. Continuing on, One Button Dash has resubscribed for 9 months in a row. All right, thank you very much, One Button Dash. I appreciate that. He says, I was just reading the replies, even saw one where a guy said, I don't even like DSP, but this tweet belongs in a museum. Well, there you go. GTK RWN did a 100-bit cheer. He says, can I get a shout out to my buddy, Andrew? He's deployed overseas in Africa. I love you, and I hope you make it back in one piece. He watches your streams. It would make his day to hear a shout out. There you go. Good luck, Andrew. Ben Tatership did a 100-bit cheer. He says, this drama shit is really low-quality content. I watch your streams to get away from this Keemstar stuff. Well, it's a good thing that we're not doing it at length then, isn't it? Like I said, we're getting it out of the way because we knew that people were going to be talking about it today, and then we're going to get back to normal because that's what I'm all about. I'm not about just having to be constantly about this, okay? Alrighty then. Do I know? Wait a minute. What's going on? Do I know what? What? Hold on a second. What's going on? I'm confused. Anyway, I have no idea. I have no idea what's going on. Let's continue. Basically, stream chat went nuts for a second. I'm like, I don't know what you guys are talking about, so let's just continue. All right. Freddie B. Mackin did a 1,500-bit cheer and said, fuck that, I'm number one. Well, technically now you are Freddie B. Mackin. Top cheerer of the day, at least. Let's get... Oh, no, wait a minute. Yeah, you are. My bad. I thought that said 2K to 1K. Thank you, Freddie B. Let's get you up here. Shit. Thank you very much. 1,500-bit cheer. Appreciate that, Freddie. All right. Hyoyip did a 200-bit cheer and said, let's do this DSP. Thank you very much. Excuse me. Master Saru tipped me $1. He says, this will be my only tip of the day because I'm going to go see Detective Pikachu. I won't be around for long. I wanted to tip and tell you welcome back. Shoutouts to Kaz and Dragon Zard. Go Cubs. All right. Thank you, Saru, for the $1 tip. King of Golf HD did a couple cheers. First, he says, I disagree with you bringing up Jared, but you point out how bad he was pretty nicely. He is just another cuck on the internet. Can you explain if people have a problem with chat, you don't question mods, you ask Phil to change the stream? Look, we were just moderating and doing what you want, not the inverse. I mean, the bottom line is no one should be giving mods shit at all. You guys should just chill out. You know, the mods are doing their jobs, all right? You know, just relax. You know, if you think mods are completely out of line and insulting people and being nasty, that's different. But if mods are just moderating because that's what they're supposed to be doing, it's no one's place to question them. You know? Okay, then. King of Golf HD cheered and said, your YouTube reflection is rather noble and well put together. You're like an accolade on a pedestal. As everything around you gets broken down to rust and dirt, you still come out clean and well put. I completely disagree. I certainly don't think I come out of anything clean and well put. I think I come out of the vast toilet of content creation on the internet completely covered in stinky shit. But the bottom line is I get out of the stinky shit. Like, I'm still here. You know what I mean? I'm not getting pulled down by the stinky shit all around me. I venture through it. I strive through it. Even though there have been a million times where things happened where I could have quit. I kept going, and I'm still here. You know? Someone yesterday actually said, is content creation on the internet some kind of a weird game of Highlander, and DSP will come out at the very end as the only one who survived? And I'm like, duh. I don't know. But I am happy to be able to do what I do for a living and be here and hang out with you guys every day, and that's what matters, right? All right, so now what I'd like to do to end the pre-stream, I'd like to give a shout out to the top cheerers of the day. Excuse me, the top cheerers of the week so far. This is basically a rundown of those who have contributed with cheers during the course of this week, and I want to give them thanks, and then we're going to get started with Days Gone. Okay, everyone? So, top 10 cheers of the week. Number 10, we've got Talk Shit, Get Kissed. In 9th place, Tantamounter. 8th place goes to Mirasaki Raven. 7th place goes to Judicious Echoes. 6th place goes to Vote Democrat. 5th place is Mr. Papavera. 4th place, Golden Colts. 3rd place, Freddie B. Mackin. 2nd place, Almighty Turban. And sitting there in 1st place right now is Infinite 55. So thank all of you for the cheers this week. Thank you in particular to those who have cheered, subbed, or tipped today. Let's actually check sub count and see if it went up or not. Freddie B. Mackin says I spelled his name wrong. I'm not surprised that I did, but I'm going to check. Looks like we're up to 463 subs. So let's update that. I see Freddie B. Mashin with an H. Oops. Mashin. That's not what I wanted to delete. Okay, here we go. There we go. Fixed it. Okay, final reminder, everyone, before we start with Days Gone. If you want to help me the most, please tip me today. I mean it. I really need the help. I have zero money right now. Zero. And I have bills I need to pay this week. So please consider tipping me today. It helps me more than anything else right now. All tips, 100%, are going to go straight to paying bills. So thank you to anyone who does tip me today in advance. There's 2 ways to tip me. Below the stream, there's a tips jar button you can click on. Or if you don't see it, you can type !tip into the stream chat to bring up the link to go to my PayPal tips page. You can either be anonymous if you don't want to be harassed on the internet for supporting me, or you could leave your name in a message if you're a little bit more adventurous. And you don't need a PayPal account to tip me. You can use a debit or credit card. It's a misconception, all right? All right, everyone, thank you. Let us end the pre-stream. And bottle crunch incoming, everyone. Wait, look out. Here we go. There you go. It is now time for Days Gone. So we're going to get back on topic. Again, if people ask me about the ProJared thing, I'm not against talking about it. But at the same time, I'm not going to make this the entirety of my existence just talking about this. The tweet is what it is. The tweet at this point, what the hell? Let's check it one last time before we start here. The tweet now has 11,600 likes and growing. Like I said, it just keeps growing and growing. And it seems that, like I said, it's just every hour I gain like another 1,000 likes, which is pretty damn funny. Okay. All right, guys, that's it. Let's end the pre-stream. Let's get started. Here we go.